Hey guys, it's your best boxing friends. I'm Kelsey, this is Rachel. Chances are, if you live in the United States, there's what kind of percent? What's 12 out of 50%? I have no idea. It's over 20% chance that you live in a state that has sports betting now. And so if you'll start seeing lines, the money lines for fights, if you're
We live in Texas. What's the status here?
fan. Well, in Texas, it doesn't look like we're going to have sports betting really anytime soon. I would imagine that sports betting in Texas wouldn't exist until places like Louisiana, neighboring states started to reap the revenue.
Yeah.
But
remember when Texas didn't have the lottery? And then when they did,
it's a big deal.
And it was like a big deal because Texas tends to be
super conservative and
really conservative, and
issues.
like in Texas we have counties that are dry, and a dry county means that there are no liquor licenses.
Grew up in Tyler, it was dry. You couldn't buy alcohol at the store.
So, like I grew up and there was a town nearby that was dry, so people drove to the next town over, and that's where they got all their alcohol. Texas tends to have things like this. So I remember when the lottery, it was like a huge deal when the lottery, like people were like, oh, the state's just trying to make money off of evil. Because there's some people that feel like gambling is evil, or just like some people think alcohol is evil. Just stating what some people's beliefs are. But that Texas tends to be that, so it wouldn't surprise me either if we were last.
We won't be last, but we're not going to be like this year or next year. It would be on down the line. I do think eventually it will be pretty much everywhere because of the big business that it does. And I don't want to get into my philosophical philosophy.
Here's what we do want to get into.
But I think it should be legal.
Rachel
people do it anyway.
Knows nothing about odds making and betting and how all that works.
That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to get to.
I do not have a mind for numbers.
She's not a mathematical genius by any sense of the word. But to be fair to Rachel, the American odds format is a little bit confusing. But once you see it, you'll get it, okay? So we're going to take a specific example for this fight that's coming up December 7th. We've got the rematch between unified champion Andy Ruiz and former unified champion Anthony Joshua. And I brought the money line out. I'm looking at a DraftKings app, which is for New Jersey. I have this so I can check lines and whatnot. Anyway, Rachel, so the money line for this fight says Andy Ruiz plus 215, Anthony Joshua minus 305.
I think that means anybody that has a negative is the favorite, right?
Right. So what does that mean, though? What does that minus 305 mean?
It means that if you bet $300, you'll get $100. I'm purely guessing.
Yeah, so if it has a minus symbol, that means that, that's the favorite usually if the other person has a plus symbol. If it's minus 305, that's the number you have to give the bookmaker. I have to give the bookmaker, in this case, DraftKings, $305. And if Anthony Joshua wins, the person I'm betting wins, I get $100 back from that bet. That doesn't mean you have to put down 305. Math is involved. So you could put down $30 or whatever, and it would come back.
It would be up to any bookie to figure out the math on that for me. If I came up there with $10, I have no idea.
If you went to a sports book or if you did it online and you put like $30 in, it would tell you what your expected return would be.
But I'm just saying, I feel like there's some people out there that are like, they do that math in their head, and they might think that it's crazy that anybody would maybe possibly go out there and bet and not know what they're betting or what they might make back, because I wouldn't know that until I put it into the system.
Well, the example we gave is pretty easy because $30 is 305. So it'd be like $10. But let's say you put $27 down or whatever. I can't do that math in my head. But listen, so the other person, Andy Ruiz, plus 215 is the line on this guy. What does that mean?
So I remember, Kelsey's tried to teach me this stuff before. And
part of the process.
What I remember is that on the negative side, it was like, you bet the negative, and that's how you get 100. And that I tried to apply that to the plus side, and it doesn't work that way.
Correct.
So on the plus side,
it's just
I don't know.
It's just the opposite. It's just the opposite, basically.
Oh, wait. Is on the plus side, does it mean that if you put down 100, that you'll get 215?
Yeah, you'll get the plus number back. So if I put $100 down on Andy Ruiz plus 215 and Andy Ruiz wins,
it's the inverse.
then my winnings are $215. And of
Okay.
course I get the 100 back too because it was a stick.
Right.
All right, now there are two different kinds of money lines often in boxing. There's the two-way money line and three-way money line. Okay?
So you win more money by betting on, which makes sense, I guess, by betting on the underdog. And if the underdog wins,
well,
right?
If the underdog wins, yeah.
Well, wait, you put down 215 and you get 100. On the other side, you put down 305 and you get 100. Anyway, I can't figure
This
that
is
out.
a little beyond the scope of this. We're not going to get into how they set lines and why, right? Because they're trying to get a certain number of bets on both sides.
I was just trying to figure out, like, I know in theory, like, when you bet on the underdog, like, you win more money. You should.
Or
'Cause
you,
you're
or you
taking
lose
a-
all of it is
or
the
you're
most
taking a
likely
bigger
scenario.
risk,
Actually,
right?
you lose all of it is the most likely thing that happens.
Right.
Especially in combat sports. In combat sports,
Oh, I figured it out. Yeah, because on the plus side, you're getting like half your money. You're getting half of the money you put down back. But on the other side, it's like a third. So yeah, you get more. I did it. I figured it out.
okay. There's two different money lines typically in boxing. Sometimes they'll just have one. They'll have the two-way line or the three-way line. The only difference, so you see this other one, you see it here, right? You got two-way money line here. They also offer a three-way money line. It says three-way here.
Okay.
And it says Andy Ruiz plus 220. And we know what that means.
Yeah.
It means if we bet $100 and Andy Ruiz wins, we win 220 back in our winnings. It's got Anthony Joshua minus 295. And we already know what that
So if
means.
you bet 295, you get 100.
And then it's got this. It says tie, but it means draw.
Right.
Plus 2,500.
All right.
So what does that mean? What is that? What is...
Oh, okay. So draw is really unlikely. That's why it's plus 2,500. So plus means unlikely, and the higher that number is, the more.
Yeah. So what does that mean?
unreasonable
What does
it
that
is.
mean?
So then that would mean if you. I've already confused them. Hang on. If you put down 100, you're gonna win $2,500.
Yeah. And so the trick with the three-way money line.
That is really unlikely, guys.
The trick between the two and the three-way, you notice that the odds are different, so you get better odds.
Yeah, the odds change because they took like the.
You get get better odds on. You get more money on the three-way money line on both fighters back.
Okay.
But the three-way money line, if you bet on the three-way money line, that means if a draw happens,
You lose.
you lose. Now on a
Okay.
two-way money line, they're only got a winner or a loser. If you bet and this fight's a draw, if you bet on the two-way money line, you'll get your money. Your bet will be canceled and you'll get your money back. So that's the difference.
Okay. Yeah. So you might really want to just bet on the two-way one, unless you're going all in on that draw.
Yeah, and a draw, like as far as the betting strategy goes,
Like the odds
far
are
as a
different enough for you to go in on like a Ruiz win on the three-way. At least in
well,
my
if
mind.
you, in my opinion,
I
like
guess it
if
depends on
you're
which one.
betting on the three-way money line, it almost, especially if you suspect that a fight will be close, or if a fight's going to be overseas somewhere and you're not quite sure what you'll get, because you know what happens in boxing all the time when you watch a guy win 9 rounds and then it'll be a draw because the wrong guy won. The wrong guy won. You see that, you can take a small percentage of what you were going to bet and put it on the draw because it's so exponentially huge that you'll win back that it's called a hedge, and you kind of hedge against your other play. So there's all sorts of advanced stuff in betting. This is nothing about that, but we're going to go ahead and go to one more thing, which is offered here for this fight specifically.
Mm-hmm.
This says total rounds.
Okay.
This says
Oh, so they have an over-under on rounds?
over 7.5, minus 115. Under 7.5, minus 115.
So whether or not this fight goes like past 7.5 rounds or not, like the odds are even.
Yeah. That means the bookmaker basically doesn't know.
Yeah.
So for instance,
that's interesting given the first fight that the odds are even on that.
Well, is it though? I mean, this has nothing to do with who will win the fight.
Right.
It's just saying that they don't know if the fight
Oh, I'm just saying in a
will go
heavyweight
over
fight.
or under.
And the first fight ended early, right? What round did the first fight end in? Do you remember? Sorry, I always ask you questions.
I don't remember. It was like round 6 or 7. Was it 7? It might have been around 7. I think it was around...
Anyway, it just surprises me that the odds maybe wouldn't lean a little bit in the under. Although 7.5 is kind of... I mean, if you pick 9 or 10, then like the odds...
I would say that for that specific, if you're going... Because they could also change... They don't have to go 7.5. They could say whatever. They could say 9 or 10 and do it that way. I would say for this fight... particularly, we don't know because we expect Anthony Joshua to change the way he fought in the first fight and box more, use his length, stuff like that. If he does that, it's probably going to go over. It's probably going to... Okay. In fact, if you're thinking that Anthony Joshua is going to win this fight, you suspect probably that the most likely scenario is either a late stoppage or a points win because he can't stand right in front of Andy Ruiz and throw with him. He's already proven that. He can't do that and win the fight. Mm-hmm. So you expect him to come in. So I think it's pretty fair. Or you say that, hey, Andy Ruiz, he can get under that longer reach. Joshua, when he gets hurt or hit, he'll reverts back to the same thing that he did in the first fight, which is trying to throw hands with this guy, and then he'll lose. But at minus 115, what does that mean? Just one more time. What does that mean? Minus 115 means what?
Minus... I mean, I really don't understand how they're both on the minus side, but aside from that, minus means that if you put down 100, you get 115. No?
Minus means that's the number.
No, you put down 115 and you get 100 back.
Right. So just maybe sum it all up. When you see a minus symbol on American odds format, that's the number you have to put down in order to win $100 back.
You see a plus symbol, then you think in your head, you put down 100, and that's what you get back.
That's the number you get back. And that's what we wanted to talk to you about today.
How will I attach those meanings to the minus and plus symbol? Because that's what I would have to do on my head. I have to attach a meaning to those.
I mean, frankly, it's surprising to me that it's taken you this long, because we've talked about this
and you know that I'm going to forget again.
Yeah, I think eventually it'll just click. Like, you'll just be like, okay, I know what that means.
I have to attach things, like, in my head, though. So I don't know what I'm going to have to do to understand that.
I don't either, but I think you out there, if you didn't understand it, then you probably understand it a little more now. It's different. It is different, and I will say that we can go over the other fractional and the decimal too in later shows. They make more sense just logically, but this is the way our odds format works in America. It has to do with because most of our odds originally were around horse racing. If you're in Texas, you can bet on horses. That's the only sports betting that we have.
Oh, I didn't.
So maybe we'll have.
What about dog racing?
I don't know about dog racing in Texas.
I'm pretty sure there's a Greyhound track that we've driven by. So
I think we need to hit the horse races sometime pretty soon. That'll be pretty fun.
We've been to horse races one time.
You should have won that time, but in classic Rachel fashion,
we picked the right.
We got confused about what we were betting on.
But we didn't box it.
We got confused about how it worked.
Yeah. So had we boxed our bet,
we would have won $60 million.
No. But we would have won something.
It's fun.
Yeah, it was fun, and we watched it right after we had seen the movie Seabiscuit, I think.
Yeah,
so like
we were all
really in. Or I just read the book too.
Yeah,
for some reason.
We both read that book.
Yeah, we read that book for some reason.
Great book.
It was good, but so I was really in on horse betting.
Seabiscuit is my favorite horse of all time. Anyway, we hope that we, in a way, are your favorite horses of all time.
Right.
Thanks for watching our show.
Like, comment, and subscribe. We really appreciate it. And have a great day.
And don't bet against us. What?